Hello and welcome. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you, depending on where you're watching from. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe. I'm the senior pastor of Vogos Praise International, that appointed place, and I'm reaching you from Port Harcourt. I don't want to go into side comments. I don't want to go through some preambles. I want to go straight to the point with what I have in my hand today. If you want to know more about some of my prophecies that have come to manifestation, some of my messages, please go to my YouTube channel, Maxwell Nnawuihe, Maxwell Nnawuihe, or you go to my Facebook timeline. You have a good number of them there. Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe on Facebook, Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe on Facebook. Then on my YouTube channel, Maxwell Nnawuihe. That will be all for now. No more side comments. Straight to the point with what I have in my hand today. 3 months potent exercise for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 3 good consecutive months exercise, very potent exercise for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. God spoke to me on the 11th of this month that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released in 3 months' time. And later on, the Spirit of God went on to give guidelines on how to make it possible. And that is exactly what I'm here to release to you. A video is in circulation already. During one of our live online prayers, I gave the guidelines. As the Spirit of God gave it to me, I released it. But there were some network interruptions, distortions. My voice was coming in and out. You know, the Nigerian network factor. And so I thought it wise to do a backup video so that nobody will give excuses. Some will say, oh, that very one, the network was cracking. And we know here and well. That is why I'm doing this. That you may hear my voice very clear. It is the same video, the same message. Pay attention. And I will not go deeper into the spiritual so that I will be able to stay with what I have in my hands. If I step deeper into the spiritual, it's going to take a longer time. Let's go straight to the point. And I want to urge you, please, with all due respect, watch this very video, listen to this very message very, very attentively and closely from the beginning to the end of it, so that you can be able to get the entire message, the perspectives, and all that you need to get out of it. Thank you very much. Let us pray. Blessed Father, have your way. Confirm the word of your servant. Let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be released. Let every power and force or human agent of the devil that want to stop this very exercise that will lead to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be bound and paralyzed. In the name of Yeshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I have prayed. Amen. Pay attention. There must be a 3 days fasting and prayers with protests. There must be a 3 days fasting and prayers with protest. In Biafra land, it will be sit-at-home protest from the east to the south across Biafra land for 3 days, the first month. In the diaspora, it is going to be 3 days mass street protest. Those Biafrans in the diaspora, the Igbos in the diaspora must hit the streets of the countries where they are in protest, together with fasting and prayers. 3 days for the first month. The same days of the protest, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The second month, 4 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The third month, 5 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you can listen attentively and closely throughout this very presentation or this very guideline, I will explain certain things, more especially why Sunday is included. So don't conclude until I am done. And those of you who are very quick in commenting and contradicting or trying to say certain things against this kind of measures or messages, without watching and listening from beginning to the end, please, I urge you to pay attention very closely. I proceed. Now, if the government failed to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu during the first month of this exercise, we will step into the second month. If they fail, we enter into the third month. And believe you me, in the third month of this exercise, the government would have no choice than to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, either on bail or unconditionally. He must be released. He must be released. Listen very carefully. Throughout the 3 months of this exercise, there shall be, listen, I am not giving order. Please take note. I am not commanding the people. Take note. Some people may begin to say, oh, is he DOS? Is he a member of DOS? Who is he himself? What does he think that he is? After all, he's a pastor. No, please pay attention. I say that throughout these 3 months of exercise, the first month, second month, third month, there shall be no negotiations. There shall be no capital N-O. There shall be no negotiations, press releases, broadcasts, blackmail, name callings, as some used to do, or the likes. So we say, oh, they have broken the chain of command. This very directive is not coming from the DOS. It's not coming from the head of DOS. This is not time for that. I remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once said that anything you can do, anything you know, that when you do it, Biafra will come. Go ahead and do it. And that is exactly what I've been doing for the past 6 years. All has been according to the direction of the Holy Spirit of God. As a man of God, I obey the Spirit of God. I obey God. Even if it's so risky. Even if it attracts hatred and attacks to me. But who am I? I'm a messenger. God sent me. If you don't like the message that God gave to me for you, you report to him. Even if you kill a messenger, the sender of the messenger will still send other messengers. Please pay attention. I repeat, throughout these 3 months of exercise, the first month, no negotiation, no press release, no broadcast, no blackmailing, no name calling or the likes that shall suspend or stop this exercise unless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released on bail or unconditionally. The second month, the same. No round table of discussion. We are tired of coming around trying to reach compromise. No room for that. Most of the compromise, most of the negotiations had never facilitated or speeded up the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And he's there languishing in the DSS custody. No negotiation, no broadcast, no blackmail, no name calling. We suspend or stop this exercise unless, no, we are working on it very soon. No, we want to see him released. That's all. And then the protest will stop automatically. Simple and short. That is what the Spirit of God said. If you don't like what I'm saying, complain to God. Don't talk against me or speak against me or complain to anybody to begin to attack me, or those who feel that they have authority over me to begin to call me to order. This is not calling Maxwell to order. Please. You must understand that this is the 6th month. This is the 6th month of the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. You have to understand it. This is the 6th month. And the first month of this protest would have made it the 7th month. If they don't release him during the first month of this very 3 months protest, we step into the 2nd month. And the 2nd month would have made it 8 good months. He has been incarcerated. And if they fail to release him in the 2nd month, we are moving on ahead into the 3rd month. And that would have made it the 9th month. The 9th month of his extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. And you know what 9 months represents? Month of delivery. 9 months represent the month of delivery. Immediately a baby in the womb clocks 9 months. The next one is what we call labor. And labor is agitation. Labor is protest. What you call labor is protest. It is agitation of the baby in the womb to come out. The womb of the Nigerian government have been carrying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or should I say the detaining authority of Nigeria, have been carrying him in the womb, locked him up on the inside. I don't want to deviate. I want to stay with what I have in my hand. But the point I'm trying to say is this. When it is 9 months, every baby in the womb must come out. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out during the 9th month. If they don't release him, the first month of the exercise, which is 7 months, the second month of the exercise, which is 8 months, then the 9th month. Only if you can obey exactly what the Spirit of God is saying. If you can obey, in the 9th month, you shall see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a new week. As I gave in the other prophecy. Go and watch other videos, other prophecies I've released so far on my YouTube channel, Maxwell Nnawuihe. Go and watch all of them. You will understand where I'm coming from and where we are going with this. I continue. Listen very, very attentively. During last month, in the month of November, I declared 30 days fasting and prayer that was titled Drawing the Bloodline. We drew the bloodline and we made certain declarations. And then, as soon as the fasting and prayer was about to end, the Nigerian government, or should I say the court, fixed an emergency court sitting for the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know how many of you that remembered it. After the 30 days fasting and prayer, there was an emergency court sitting of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And within that very period, I was attacked health-wise. I was attacked. I was terribly sick within that very period. So I couldn't monitor the situation. The devil knew what was about to happen. There are people you don't touch. There are people you don't allow them, you don't allow their back to get to the ground. I am not trying to attach any relevance to who I am. I'm nobody. But God has chosen me for this very purpose. And other purposes affecting the lives of different individuals in different countries of the world. That very court sitting, there was something about it, but it was then truncated spiritually because I was down. I was down health-wise. And they said, UPTH, I went to University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. They told me a little ulcer, just little, an ulcer is about to develop. It's trying to develop. Not that the ulcer had fully developed. I was sick for 2 good weeks. But then I understood that the devil was trying to strike fear in me so that I would stop fasting and praying. But the devil is a liar. This very 3 months guideline, I will be involved, fasting and praying. If it's ulcer, the ulcer will die. The same thing with our church. And I urge you to join me. Now, listen. After the 30 days fasting and prayer in the month of November, and the emergency court sitting, the Spirit of God came back with this 3-month potent exercise for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And so, this is very, very important, and then you must pay attention. Listen, the 3 days fasting and prayers with protest for the first month will start on Sunday, as I said earlier. On Sunday of every week, throughout the first month, as I said earlier, both for Biafrans at home and those in the diaspora. The second month the same, with additional 1 day, making the second month 4 days of fasting and prayer and protest. The third month, the same. The guideline of the fasting and prayer and protest for the first month to the second month will also apply to the third month exercise. Very, very important. And all the days of the fasting and prayer and protest will start, or should I say, will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the first month, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the second month, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the third month. The time for the fasting and prayer is 6 a.m. to 12 noon. 6 a.m. to 12 noon every day, both for Biafrans in the diaspora and those in Biafra land. The only difference is the sit-at-home protest in Biafra land and mass street protest in every country of the world where IPOB has significant presence. Let me clarify something here. Some people may be asking, which month is he going to begin? Which month is he going to start? As I'm talking to you now, some people have already concluded arrangements and they are preparing to start this very exercise before the end of this December. Before the end of this December. And I commend them from my heart. That is being proactive. That is being resolute and determined to go all the way for what is right. Some may say, oh, it's going to affect the Christmas celebration. No, it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to affect anything. If there is war now, you wouldn't be talking about Christmas. Saturday the 25th, which is the Christmas day, is my birthday. It's my birthday. And also that very day, I gave my life to Christ. That very 25th of December, 1994, I gave my life to Christ. This is exactly 27 years in the Lord. I am now 27 years in the Lord. I've seen many Christmases, but then freedom can never be equated with them. Of course, Jesus came for freedom. Why he came was to set us free. So please, it's not going to affect any festive period. The only thing is that from January 2022, this very guideline will be in full implementation. It is going to be in full implementation. So prepare, get prepared. Let it be on record. Listen, from January next year, as I've said a few seconds ago, the guideline will be in full implementation. The full exercise will begin in January 2022. We shall greet the world and tell them, Happy New Year everywhere. We are going to greet them and tell them Happy New Year with these protests. These two spontaneous protests. Sit-at-home protest in Biafra land. Mass street protest in the diaspora by Biafrans. These two spontaneous protests, we are going to use them together with fasting and prayer to greet the world and tell them Happy New Year. Let it be on record and history how we entered into 2022. A people determined to free their extraordinarily rendition leader, held under inhuman and degrading treatment in flagrant violation of every law on human rights known to man. You must consistently show the enemy. You must consistently show the world to their faces how determined and unstoppable you are in peaceful agitation for freedom and total extrication from this very contraption. You must show them. If you don't show them, they will not see it. You must tell them. You must make them understand. If you don't do it, nobody is going to help you do it. I want to reiterate. Throughout the 3 months of this exercise, there shall be no negotiations. Oh, our elders said. Oh, the political class said. Oh, they said they are looking into it. Oh, they said we should hold on, give them a few minutes to conclude discussions with the presidency and the likes. No. The only thing I reiterate, listen, the only thing that will suspend or stop this 3 months exercise, either in the first month or the second month or the third month, is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, either on bail or unconditionally. That's the only condition to stop this very exercise. That's the only condition. Please, the protest with fasting and prayer begins every Sunday of the week. And I want to use this opportunity to talk to my fellow clergymen, members of the clergy, women of God, men of God, apostles, reverend fathers, canon, venerable, archbishop. No matter the title or the position you hold in the vineyard of God, please, I am not commanding your congregation. I am not commanding your ministry. I am not commanding your office. Please, with all due respect, with all due respect, I am not sending letters to churches, but this very video serves the same purpose. Please, we have to understand, members of the clergy and churches across Biafra land. In fact, all the places that Biafrans are going to be protesting in all the countries of the world, and also fasting and praying. You men and women of God, you must understand that we are in this mess together, more especially those in Biafra land and in Nigeria. We are in this mess together, and together, we shall clean it up. We are the ones to clean them up. That our lives, our churches, Our church members, our children, our businesses, our destinies may shine brilliantly with freedoms and dignity in line with divine purpose. Members of the clergy and churches, please, you have to adopt these very peaceful and spiritual measures for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 3 months. Just 3 months. And the church will move on. Already, the church is not being stopped. No. I'm trying to say 3 months, then services will continue. Just like in the pandemic period. After the lockdown was relaxed, activities came back to life. Please. These measures are better than war. These measures are better than war. Because if war breaks out now, churches cannot hold services. Pastors, reverend fathers, canons, all the members of the clergy, all the apostles, prophets, prophetesses, all the Jews, with our members and our families, if war breaks out now, we will be hiding, looking for places to hide and protect our lives, ourselves, and our families and our members. Churches will not hold services. No morning mass, 6 o'clock mass, 7 o'clock mass, 10 o'clock. No. No first, second, third, fourth, fifth service. No. Because life is a priority. God has given us life, and this life that God has given to us will be protected. This is one of the ways to ensure that very protection, to avert war. Because what is happening now, nobody knows when the war will break out. Nobody knows. Please, I proceed. There was a video somebody sent to me on WhatsApp. I watched it. That very video was released by AIT. In that video, a police boss was addressing the press on a letter to close churches sent by, guess who? Sent by who? Can you guess? Bandits to the police headquarters. The Christian Association of Nigeria, they are aware of this. PFN, they are aware of it. They are aware. The most important thing in that very message, the most important message in that very letter sent by the bandits is that bandits can actually threaten and give orders to close churches or risk being attacked. Bandits can actually give order. Bandits can actually give a command. This is not the police boss giving a command. This is not the army. No. This is not the presidency. No. This is not the governor. Bandits can actually give order, can actually threaten to close churches, and then there is fear and trepidation everywhere. And the security agencies across the state are put on red alert. Now, this is not about, whether it's in the north. It's in the north. It's not just about the north. It's not just about the south. It's not about the west. It's not about the east. The point is this. The bandits have the capacity to carry out their threats. And that is why the security agencies have to take this very threat very, very seriously. And they mobilized police patrol vans, joint military or joint security forces patrol operation across some churches and mosques to provide security cover during worships or during the Jumat prayers, because they know what the bandits are capable of doing. But if it is me now that say, let the churches close down, this exercise is not shutting down churches. It's just exercise. Stand in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Stand for justice, fairness, and equity. That's all. 3 months only, and then we'll move on. Some may not listen. But if the bandits drop a letter at their church entrance, if Boko Haram come, I don't want to go into that, please. We have to obey. The Bible says in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 21, is that to obey God, to obey the voice of God, is better than sacrifice. And to hearken unto his voice is better than the fat of ram. It is better to obey the voice of the Spirit of God that you are hearing through this message, watching in this video now, than to obey the voice of the bandits. Obey God. and the bandits will not come close. Obey the Spirit of God, and the bandits, terrorist attack will not come close to your congregation. I proceed. We know that during the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, churches were shut down. The way and manner that churches were shut down was so disrespectful that the authorities, the task force, they never paid attention or tried to consider that this is a place of worship. They never paid attention or considered that the Spirit of God might be here or looking at us the way we are shutting down this church. Some churches were shut down. Do you remember? And some pastors in different countries of the world were arrested for violating that very lockdown order. Why? Men said so. WHO, they said lockdown. They said you must wear face mask. They said there must be hand washing, hand sanitizers. Because task force said so, presidential task force. To obey God is better than sacrifice. We rather obey God than to obey men. That was what the early apostles said. Now listen very carefully. This exercise is not locking down churches, as I said before. It is not shutting down churches. It is standing in solidarity with our own Moses, our own Joshua, sent by God. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what it is all about. Listen, we want to ensure his speedy release in these 3 months, as the Lord has said, because he has divine mandate to secure. He has that very divine mandate to lead us into a beautiful and prosperous future for our generations, as determined by God in heaven. And no living soul on this very earth can stop it. No soul will stop it. Every man and woman of God that believes in the God of Israel, every man and woman of God that believes in the God of Moses, every man or woman of God that believes in the God of Joshua, that believes in the God of Deborah, the God of Gideon, the God of Samson, every man and woman of God that believes in the God of the Bible, this Bible we read and pray with. The Egyptians you see today, you shall see them again no more. Where did that statement come from? From Moses. From peaceful agitation. Their own agitation was not even peaceful. Plagues were unleashed on the land of Egypt for the freedom of the people of God, the Israelites. It was in the course of agitation that that very statement came. It was prophetic. Today, some of you use it in your prayer points, use it in your prayer meetings. Is it not so? Some of you men of God, it is one of your favorite scriptures. Some of you women of God, it is one of your favorite scriptures. The Egyptians you see today, you shall see them again no more. Pharaoh, let my people go. Pharaoh, that Pharaoh in your family, that Pharaoh in your business must die, must let you go. Where did that statement come from? It came in the process of agitation for freedom. Their sun stand still. Joshua, their sun stand still. Some of you quote it, and these are coming from freedom fighting and freedom fighters. And you believe in their God. You believe in them. You thank God for their lives. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has come to do the same for us. And you are against it. No, that is hypocrisy. And please, that very hypocrisy must be put to an end. Please, please. You remember Reverend Martin Luther King? You remember Reverend Martin Luther King that fought for black equality in America, of which many of you are beneficiaries. And by extension, some people in different countries of the world are benefiting from it. Some of you say, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream. It was his quote. Right? Equality. Right? Did he get it? Of course he did. Bishop Desmond Tutu. He fought for his people in South Africa from the pulpit. From the pulpit. He didn't hide. Did he die? The answer is no. Please, it is our turn. And we must show example for the next generation. Listen very, very closely. Listen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was used by God to stop the Islamization agenda, and of course you're aware of that. God used Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to expose and weaken the speed, to slow down the speed with which they were using to implement the Islamization agenda. You're aware of it. You are aware of it. Not only that, so many other evils, genocidal and evil plans of evil leaders in Nigeria, God used Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to stop those plans. And you're aware of it. The book of Amos chapter 6 verse 1 says, woe unto them that sit at ease in Zion. Woe unto them that sit at ease in Zion. Woe unto them that trust in the mountain of Samaria, which are named chief of the mountains, to whom the house of Israel came. Oh, I don't want to go deep into the spiritual so that I can be able to conclude this very guideline. He said, woe unto them that sit at ease in Zion, more especially that trust in the mountains of Samaria. Some of the men of God, their trust is not in Nigeria. Their hope, their place of shelter and security and better life is not in this country. And they believe that if anything happens, they fly abroad. The mountains of Samaria. The mountains of Samaria. The protection, the better life outside the country than Israel, their own homeland. The Bible says, woe unto them. You cannot afford to sit at ease in Zion. You cannot afford to sit at ease when evil is ravaging the whole land. When the mouthpiece of the people, when the voice of the Most High in our generation, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for national freedoms, is in the DSS dungeon. 6 months, 6 good months, being his second abduction. After the first abduction in 2015, you can't sit at ease. You are the conscience of the people. You are the mouthpiece of the people, the mouthpiece of God. You speak for the people and you speak on behalf of the Most High to the people. You cannot sit at ease in Zion. I proceed. The book of Daniel chapter 6 from verse 16 to 18. I was shocked when I came across that very verse to discover that the king actually protested for Daniel. Do you know that? The king, the hidden king, protested for Daniel. Daniel happened to be a child of God and a man of God, a prophet of God. And this king he was serving under was a hidden king. Yet, when Daniel was cast into the lion's den, the king sat at home. He fasted and prayed, and he protested for the release of Daniel from the lion's den. If you read that book of Daniel, let's read it now. The book of Daniel chapter 6 from verse 16 to 18. Listen very attentively. I'm reading from the King James Version. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. I don't want to derail. I don't want to deviate. I just want to stay with it. I don't want to explain anything here. Verse 17. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den of the lion, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. That the purpose might not be changed. What is the purpose? That Daniel might be consumed in the lion's den. That is the purpose of the enemy for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he may be destroyed and killed, not come out alive in the detention, or come out paralyzed and diseased. That is the purpose. And they don't want it to be changed. But we are going to change it. We are going to change it. Verse 18. Then the king did what? The king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. The king fasted. Have you seen? Oh, the word of God. Have you seen it? The king passed the night fasting. Why? Because of Daniel. How many kings in our land have fasted for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? How many of them, I'm asking? How many? What next did he do? The Bible went on to say, neither were instruments of music brought before him. No dancing, no musical instrument, no imandieze, no high life, no reggae, no blue. No music. That is protest. When you stop doing what you used to do before out of anger, that is protest. We must proceed. We must. What next? And his sleep went from his eyes. His sleep went from him. In other words, the king couldn't sleep because of who? Daniel. Why? Daniel was an upright man. Being cast into the lion's den, he never deserved it. It was as a result of conspiracies and gang-ups because of his uprightness and holiness, standing for what is right and just, serving his God all the time. That was all. The law that he broke was the law of the king. Yet, the king didn't value the law at this very point in time. The king forgot about all the thing that the fact that Daniel broke the law. The king forgot about it. The side of his humanity came to play, which is a great lesson for all of us today, men of God, and everyone. It's a great lesson. He went back home. He sat at home and protested. How? He didn't eat. He didn't drink wine. No musical instrument. No entertainment. The virgins that used to dance, women that used to dance, nobody came to dance to entertain him. He never slept. He fasted. And the Bible made us to understand that the next morning, being the verse 19, the king rose up very early and he went straight to the lion's den to visit Daniel in the lion's den. He couldn't sleep. That was why he was the first to go there at the lion's den to see Daniel. How many of you have visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? How many of you? Have you ever? Those of you in the diaspora broadcasting and talking. Those of you in the diaspora broadcasting and blackmailing and trying to discourage men and women who are doing what is right, who are doing all they can to speed up the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Those of you broadcasting, those of you anchoring programs, those of you shouting chain of command, counting, your duty is to take pen and paper and be writing the names of the people who are breaking the chain of command, rather than fighting very, very consistently and assiduously to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released anytime soon. How many times have you visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the lion's den? I'm asking you. I'm asking you. You may say, oh, DSS will not allow us. No, some of you are afraid. Some of you, even if the DOS say, oh, the DSS, not the DOS, please pardon me, the DSS, even if they say, okay, you cannot come and visit him, if you wish to visit him, many of you will not still go. He said, before I reach there, now, they feel change their mind and throw me inside there. The king fasted. The king prayed. The king stood in solidarity with Daniel. The king protested at home for Daniel. The king refused to eat. The king refused to drink. The king refused any form of entertainment in the palace because of Daniel. And the king was the first to visit him in the lion's den the next morning. Why? Because he couldn't sleep. Well, some of you have been sleeping. Some of you have been enjoying free life, good life in the diaspora. And people like us who are on ground, people like us who are here, we pay for everything we use. If you see bulb shining and lightning in my office or in the house or in the church, is generator. The power, call them NEPA, whatever you call them, they are not stable. We burn fuel every blessed day. We pay for data, we pay for internet, we pay for everything. Yet they won't afford us a very good and stable service. Yet we're here talking, risking our lives. Yet because of this very gospel, many people don't come to our church. Many people hate me. Anywhere they see Maxwell, anywhere they hear about me, they sigh. They become angry. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I know the sacrifice that we on ground are paying. Therefore, when we release this kind of message from the Spirit of the Most High God, we expect total compliance with it. No excuses whatsoever. I proceed. Anyone who is against this 3 months exercise, without faster and better procedure or measures to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 3 months' time, that very person is a saboteur and an evil person. That very person, anybody, it doesn't matter who that person is, that is against this 3 months exercise, this 3 months guideline that the Spirit of God is giving for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the same person or group of persons doesn't have faster and better procedure or procedures or measures to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 3 months' time, that very person is a saboteur and an evil person who loves the pains and the torture which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been subjected to these very 6 months of his extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. And such a person, such group of people, they must be comprehensively disregarded and shown what it means to be in solidarity with such a great leader as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and demand for his release. You must understand that this is a dirty slap. You must understand that this is a dirty slap on the faces of Biafrans, Igbos, and all men and women of good conscience, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria without recourse for the rule of law. 6 months down the line, with his health failing, and family in great perplexity. If it were your own father, I'm asking you a very pertinent question. If it were your father, if it were your own mother, your biological brother, your biological son, your sister that has been held, that has been incarcerated 6 months down the line, what would you do when this kind of exercise is slated to hold for 3 months to ensure his release, to ensure her release? What would you do? Those of you that are some of them are preparing their bullet now. Some of them are preparing how to counter all I've been saying. Some of them have been preparing on how to use their platforms to destroy the determination of the people to apply or to engage in this 3 months exercise. This very question comes to all of you. It doesn't matter who you are. Be you a man of God, a woman of God, a king, be you a member of the DOS, IPOB member, principal officer of IPOB, the head of DOS, and every other person that is listening to what I've been saying a couple of minutes ago, I am asking you this very question. If it were your own father, just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been held down in the DSS dungeon, if it were your father, your mother, if it were your own biological son, your sister, if it were you, what would you do when this 3 months exercise is slated to hold for your release or for the release of your son or your daughter or your father or your mother? What would you do? If you're a man of God, if you're the one that is being held down, kidnapped by bandits, and we now say, okay, let us protest, let us fast for 3 months. What would you advise your family members and church members to do? Will you tell them no? Of course you will not say. You will not say it. You can't say it. You will say they should go on. You'll be praying in that very detention facility, in that very kidnappers den. You'll be praying there. Oh God, thank you for touching the heart of people to protest for my relief. Now it is the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, life is all about sowing and reaping. With what measure you use in measuring for others, the same will return to you. Life is all about sowing and reaping. You must understand that it is truly a dirty slap on the faces of the members of the Directorate of State of IPOB, the DOS, and the head of the DOS, that up till now, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been in the custody of the aggressor under worst human rights violations and threat to life for 6 good months without any workable or tangible measures to release him till death. Look at your faces in the mirror of good conscience. As I'm talking right now, he said, how can he say? It's a dirty slap. It's a dirty, I repeat, it's a dirty slap on our faces, including my very self. That's why I'm upset. That's why there's, when you have the burden of the people in your mind, in your heart, the Spirit of God will be speaking to you. And you will hear him very clearly to show the way out. It is a slap on our faces. Men and women of God, it is a slap on our faces. Members of the DOS, take it or leave it. It is a dirty slap on your faces. Look at your face in the mirror of good conscience. Look at your face. Don't look at me now. Just look at your face in the mirror of good conscience, in the mirror of sincerity and honesty, and you will see the fingerprints of the Nigerian government on your faces in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's really a dirty slap. It's a dirty slap. If you are genuine and really want the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in 3 months' time, you have to support this very 3 months exercise. This 3 month exercise does not replace the legal works and other important activities for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that are going on. Those in the diplomatic front line should go on. The lawyers, those in the legal team, they should go on with their work. And every other person. But then, this very exercise, everyone must be involved. Everyone must be involved to speed up the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. God chose these 3 months to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and every support and wide publicity and mass participation must be given to it. Unless you don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released anytime soon. It doesn't matter how you shout, oh, all hail Biafra, IPOB one family. It doesn't matter. You see, I don't even care some of the things they say during broadcast. I don't. We want to see action. By their fruit, you shall know them. You must understand that I'm doing the work of God. Also, I am helping the DOS of IPOB and IPOB principal officers to do their work for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ordinarily, I shouldn't be saying this. Do you know how many threats I receive? Do you know how many people attack me? Do you know how many people monitor me? Do you know how much hatred I have attracted to myself simply because I'm speaking out the truth? Do you know? I ask you. You may not understand it. The members of the DOS, please, with all due respect, in full recognition of your office and your role and your prerogative, please, don't oppose or speak against this very 3 months peaceful, spiritual and practical guideline. Don't oppose it. 3 days sit-at-home protest with fasting and prayers in every nook and cranny of Biafra land. In the first month, 3 days fasting and prayer with protest, mass street protest in the countries of the world where IPOB has a significant, not just has significant presence. Even if in that country is only 3 IPOB members, let them write something on the placard. Do your peaceful protest. It could be in the corner of your apartment. Come out, 3 of you, come out. Send it and make sure it circulates on the social media. Whether you are 2 in the diaspora, in that very country, doesn't matter the country, wherever you are, so long as you're a Biafran, so long as you're a POB member, you must have this street protest for 3 days with fasting and prayer. Every week, starting from Sunday to Tuesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the first month. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The second month. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 5 days for the 3rd month. Everybody, sit at home, Biafra land, first month, second month, and the 3rd month. Following the guideline as I have been explaining earlier. You must understand this. You must understand that anybody that opposes what I'm saying Anybody that after listening to this message, after watching this video, that same person go ahead to oppose, to speak against this very guideline, that very person is so evil. That very person is a saboteur. And that very person must not be taken seriously. Such a person must be disregarded. Don't attack such a person, no. Such very person must be damned. Whatever he says must not be paid attention to. Please. I am trying to summarize now. Listen very carefully. These 3 months of exercise is not too much to sacrifice for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These 3 months of potent exercise has been directed by the Spirit of God. It's not too much to sacrifice for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in peaceful protests and fasting and prayers, because he is carrying our collective freedoms and pains. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is carrying our pains. He's there because of us, our freedoms. As he has been in the DSS custody, our freedom is there, held down there. I don't want to go into details. Of course, you know what I'm saying. Therefore, anybody that is against these measures, such a person, whether man of God, woman of God, IPOB principal officer, DOS, it doesn't matter who. Whether you say you're a South Southerner or you are Igbo, it doesn't matter who you are, or a politician. Such a person, evil spirit has taken hold of his or her heart. That very person, it doesn't matter who the person is, even if it's Igbo, even if he's the king, the paramount ruler of any community in Biafran land, such a person has been possessed by evil spirit. Evil spirit has taken hold of such person's heart, and we can never allow such an evil spirit to prevail. Thanks for watching and listening. The next thing to do is share this message everywhere. Every platform where they discuss Biafra, every platform that they talk about freedom, every platform they talk about police brutality, every platform that they talk about lawlessness of the Nigerian agencies or security agencies, every platform that they talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every platform they talk about Igbo, anywhere they are gossiping, share this message to those very places. And please, make sure that this video, this message, gets to the head of the Directorate of State of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi, as soon as possible. Every principal officer of IPOB must share this video. Every broadcaster on Radio Biafra on IPOB platforms must air this very video. They must broadcast it, they must stream it live, they must rebroadcast it. Monitor all the platforms where they are deleting this message, this video. Monitor all the places where they are opposing this message, this video. And then you will know that these are high-profile saboteurs, claiming to be IPOB members, claiming to be Biafrans. They are not. And it doesn't matter how they oppose it. Anywhere they oppose it, take the message to the next place and keep on resharing it to that same place. Their fingers will get tired, and they will allow the message to thrive and to go viral. Once again, thanks for watching and listening. Share the message everywhere that man exists. I remain Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe, the senior pastor of God's Praise International, that appointed place. And from me, from here, it is goodbye. God bless you, Rigo. God bless you.